stakeholder in the county. We do have our traditional council. The district has its own traditional council, and then also have our district development council. Unfortunately, as you know, due to resource constraint, some of our projects could not, take on, but some of the ones that we have oversight on, we begin to, to implement those.
Okay. Now, apart from being involved with agriculture in your district, how are you impacting the lives of our people in terms of education, health? Or what's your contribution to them so
Well, if you follow my activities in the legislature, I was able to put forth a bill. That bill was initially put forth in the 53rd by Honorable Mr. Chi. Unfortunately, it died in committee room, so I was able to put forth that bill in the 54th in terms of establishing the Vocational and Technical Institute in Rivergee County. That have gone to the Senate, it being engrossed to the Senate, and we working along with some of our senators there to make sure that it is passed by the Senate and then signed by the president. I'm very confident that the president will sign that into law because from all indications you know that Rivergee County has no technical institute currently. We don't have a TVET program. Beyond that point, I was able to reach an agreement with my own organization on the ground we call Dopoh, development of people and communities, with $50,000 grant over a period of 3 years to start a mini TVET program until the government can reach that point of having a full-fledged TVET program, and that will be going on in Rivergee. I mean, in Rivergee kind of within the Riverway. Beyond that point, also we are working with some first aid institution on the ground to train some of our students who have interest in nurse aid and first aid, and that will also be sponsored by that program. And our TVET mini TVET project will focus on carpentry and masonry. I can tell you now, if you were to do any construction in Rivergee County, you will likely want to take people from Grange or nearby county to do that job. So we lack skills. We brought in on Saturday for all one of the young persons that we wanted to have used as a forerunner for the driving program. Who came, we brought to Kakata and he graduated. Was one of those who died in the accident.
far? Wow.
Yeah, so it kind of unfortunate because he would have been the first, to go back there, and showcase his talent so that other people can, But however, it happened. So we will also include, driving into our program there. When it comes to at TU, and we do have our scholarship project, and we this is actually a financial aid program that impacting some students at the Tubman University, and also within the Rivergee University Student Union, we put aside certain some amount of money that we give to them every year. We started this year. Unfortunately, at the legislature, where we should have a budget for scholarship, we have not received that since we went at legislature. But however, from our own funding, we'll be able to impact that when it comes to education. We also planning this year to have the we are copying something, though we have not seen it when we are heard it, but we think it's important. TV in television in school. We try to have that. We have about 11 persons coming from Williams College. They will be training our teachers in Rivergee, not just in my district, and they will also be doing hands-on in training with teachers and also nurses in Rivergee County in my district also, and that will be happening from the 16th of January to the 30th. They come from Williams College. As you know, I have a master from Williams College, so I'm reaching a program where interns can come from Williams College, to come to Liberia. They will be going to Nima County and Rivergee County.
Okay. Before my colleague comes in, what's about your impact on our market women in the district? Are you giving them loan? Have you started that?
No, I have not given them loan, and I don't intend to give them loan.
Okay.
Because my loan will be a political loan.
Political loan? What do you mean?
I'm a student of finance, and we don't want to politicize financial matter. So what we're going to be doing is to work with institutions that are credible and they are noted for giving out loan to our people. We start up business people, and in fact we're working with some of them who we're trying to make sure that we can encourage them not just when they are making business, but to go outside the China and other areas to explore. So I'm not going to do it under the name of Francis Dopoh because it's going to be political.
Okay. How's the issue of what's the situation like when it comes to the issue of security?
Well, I can say Rivergee County is calm in terms of our borders, in terms of you know, one would say uh, maybe external aggression. I don't think it's calm, but when it comes to crime, oh, crime, I mean, is increasing on a daily basis in Rivergee
Why?
County.
Why?
But the Joint Security have been working. They have engaged all over a period of time. One of the things we're trying to do, coming as to speak, with respect to our crossing point. People, look, we got so many crossing points. Sometimes people don't cross in with aggression; they cross in with their attitude, and then they infiltrate society. So one of the things we're doing is that we're trying to put in some boats. They cooking on with with motor boat. We're doing one now in Yankin border. We're hoping to do one at Stickley border in our area, so that we can increase trade at the same time monitoring. So that boat also be used by this John security and also our people there to cross people over. At the same time, it's just an issue of awareness. I'm not a security person per se, but I take interest in security matter because I'm a victim of that. I had a store in Rivergee County in my district. That store had a lot of things in for Raffle Jordan. I know what to do for my people, and it was Bokora, including power saw and things were taken out. So I know the importance of of that. At the same time, too, encouraging our young people to go to school. We got illicit mining going on. I'm one of those who have stood against illicit mining, and I've been encouraging my people to the extent that in my two of my towns that have the potential of of gold and diamond. I've encouraged them that they should not allow it. I will give them some money every month just for the period of time, and we're working with that and trying to encourage good investors to go in.
In terms of security presence, principally the police, or what can't you say? Do you have adequate number of police officers assigned, deployed in that part of the
We have more police officers as in Port Bridge than Rivergee County. I just think the police has to think about that.
Why?
What effort have you made to see that you can have more presence, more
Why?
police presence in the
I
area?
suppose Bridget than that of Rivergee.
Yeah, obviously. No, the effort here is that as I'm the chair of the caucus, okay, and along with my colleagues, we have been making effort. We have done some recommendation, to the police. I don't want to say anything negative. I think the police have their own timing because it had to do with cost also. Giving our squeeze, the very jam or say squeeze resources, but I think they will work on that. But we have made effort, and they themselves, I think they have seen that. I even spoke with the immigration to see how best that they can shift some of the checkpoints that they have in Rivergee County to some strategic point. Because if you don't have the numbers, then you can be strategic in your placement.
So how many police officers you have in the county so far?
Well,
Two?
if I were to count, then nobody's down to no.
Okay.
I think
Are they-
it should be more than 10 from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've seen. I don't want to speak, for but I think
More
about
than 10
they are
in the
not-
whole county.
But they are
Yeah,
not.
but I've seen more than 10 police officers in public.
Okay.
Okay. What about the issue of health?
Yeah,
What
so
about infrastructure?
we speak. Yeah, to be frank, our last the budget for 18-19 was very terrible, and I just sometimes when you try to speak the fact how people want to politicize things, any performance of a government, okay, the first place to assess a government is from a national budget. The budget is a fiscal stand. If the budget does not perform, it means the government does not perform. All the government needs to do is to realize it and double up to perform. It's not about politics, it's a reality. Because the budget is the fiscal stand. It tells you your program, what you want to do. And once you don't achieve that budget, that's underperformance. It doesn't mean that you're the worst government, it's underperforming. When it comes to health, we underperform
How?
to Rivergee County.
How?
Well, what was appropriated for Rivergee County health system was never realized. That's the reality. So it means that two things happen. Either people choose not to go to hospital, or they were going there and get no treatment. But the budget shows that indeed it did not perform for Rivergee County health. In this fiscal year, it will surprise you that Rivergee County was left, the health center of Rivergee County of $100,000 was left out of the budget. We had to work with our colleagues in the legislature to make sure that that appropriation was restored. Now we are yet in the first quarter, they have been limited performance again. The first quarter of the 1920 budget, limited performance.
What sort of effort have you applied to reach out to state authorities in addressing this very?
Well, my effort for the most part, if I go outside, it means because I'm doing an extra representation. But for the most part, my effort should be at the legislature, and that's where we should go. we have poor leadership in the legislature.
We're coming
So
there.
our performance will not be reflected. If I meet Minister Tour and talk to him, that is just because a level of friendship or what we say sometimes informal activity you do to your colleague. But that's not the way how. What you appropriate, that's what you should do. If there are revenue issue, then we can go back to the drawing board. And that call for recasting the budget, that call for review of the budget and so forth. Now that's my function. However, we have been engaging our colleagues at various sector in the government to get it done. But again, they say total want to buy what the hands are short.
Okay, so let's
Before we go to the national issue, let me just ask on the issue of infrastructure. How is it like in your county?
Rivergee County is the 14th county in Liberia, and then I think the 15th is Dopoh. Rivergee County suffer from marginalization over time.
How?
Yes.
my previous administration.
We are being first. We were annexed. We are being part of Maryland County. Around in 1964, we came to Grand Chile County, and then in 2000, we became Rivergee County. Okay, so it's a virgin play. When it comes to infrastructure, I can tell you that it is evolving. However, Rivergee County for the last 2 years have not received except for $100,000 for county development fund and social development fund. Out of it money, $1.1 million from social development fund is being owed by the government. I don't know which government. I say the government. So some of the
This
things
government?
the government.
No, but be specific enough. Tell us which
No.
exactly.
Government is continuity.
Yeah, but which administration?
Okay, both Ellen and President we are government.
All the people of
Rivergee County, $1.1 million. That should be addressing from social development fund from Putu Mountain and that of the county development fund every year. It's a reality. Now, how do you expect? So our infrastructure are very poor. We have a lot of projects that were not completed. Now, what the caucus have discussed and we prepare to engage the president on is that all of our projects should be taken over by the government to do. Because the 200,000 that will be going for our county development fund cannot address the project.
Very limited.
Very small. Obviously. If I is in for the testimony.
Okay. So let's transition now to the legislature. We just got through with your district. Looking at the performance of the legislature, where you from, both the lower and the upper house, what's your analysis of how you people are performing on Capitol Hill?
One thing I would like to say first is that each lawmaker goes to the legislature with different mandate and expectation, okay, and aspiration from his or her own people. But the general aspiration, as far as governance is concerned, is oversight. Sometimes it's not compelling to make law. When laws are there, you don't have to make new laws.
Surely.
But the existing laws, you have to provide oversight for those laws. Individually, by our own admiration and aspiration by our people, some are performing individually. But by association, we have failed desperately.
Feel desperately.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's your interpretation of that?
The oversight is not there. You think the pressure on the executive is just there? The pressure is on the executive because of the failure of the legislature by group, by association. Individually, some lawmakers are doing what they can do for their people in the district by their own aspiration and their premises. But as a group, we have failed. And that brought out to our leadership. How many times, let's be realistic here. Look, how many times have the central bank governor appeared in public in plenary? Openly. How many times have the minister of finance appeared in public in plenary? Openly. I can check only one time. How many times have key ministerial agencies appear with a report? That's an oversight. We need to do it. What's a fear? There's not friendship. We're not running friendship here. There's the state resources that we're discussing here. Today, President Weah is the president. Tomorrow, someone else will be there and you'll become a citizen. One time I used to tell somebody, I said, when I was at LRA, I said, as an employee of the LRA, I am a taxpayer. As you leave being tax collector, you will get on the bench. So when you have a job to do, it's not friendship. We are not performing.
It seems,
and that is
because the members, you people are the members.
No,
people are not keeping the feet.
The tyranny. No. We are keeping it to the fire at different levels, at different point in time. As you know, we all got different competing interests. Okay, at the same, and that's the beauty of democracy anyway. But let me tell you something. It's the tyranny of the Constitution.
How?
Yes. The Constitution. No, it's just so unfortunate at this time. I'm still telling my colleagues, and we are working on that. That you will have a constitution that was prepared by a man in arms. And today we have civilian government. We say the same constitution. That constitution put the power in the hands of the president and the speaker. Yes. The speaker of the house controls. Look at the house. He controls the flow. He has the
So
gavel.
you have your own rules.
He has the gavel. I'm coming. He has the gavel. He has the gavel.
There are rules that also
I'm
govern.
coming. So the rules issue now, we are working on that.
No, but honorable.
No, but he has the gavel because
in our
I'm coming.
very constitution,
The constitution spoke of electing a speaker for 6 years.
yeah, but in our very constitution, you are
No.
also given an authority to craft your own rule.
I'm coming now. So that's the point we're going to.
Yeah.
We are victim of a freshman senior paradox. And what is the freshman senior paradox? When you are in an institution, okay, like the end of the college, okay, whenever there's a severe issue, the freshmen that are coming in, they don't care because they're just coming. Huh? They're just coming. It's most of the time it's the sophomore and the junior who try to fight at time. Now the senior want to get out. So that's the situation. We got in with a rule, okay, because we're just coming in. So we say, okay, we will change the rule later on. When we got in, we saw a committee, okay, to look at the rule, our part of the committee. We look at the rules. Okay, we saw all the flaws in the rule and made all the correction. Our very speaker, who was the champion of the Democrats at the time, the outspoken speaker, up to now, I've never placed down the agenda. And that is the power of the speaker, to place issue on the agenda.
But you can also pressure him to do that
How do you pressure him?
in the plenary.
Oh yeah, so in plenary, you are a noise maker. You raise the issue. Have you ever we at the legislature, especially the House of Representatives, we have had only one time I remember we have discussed Mercedina Athens. We have never concluded our agenda. In fact, we have had the most executive session in the legislature. So how do we? Because we need the public to grade us today, because we have a dark room discussion all the time. So some of those who are making issues, even from the CDC, because from opposition, within the CDC, they are strong lawmakers who are raising the issue too. But we in that room discussion,
Because
so the public will not know.
the reason why we asking you that apparently the members are not keeping the feet of the legislature to the of the leadership to the fire is because there's this perception that legislators have achieved for themselves that self-interested reputation. People feel that you only concerned about yourself and not the general population, whereby you went there on the gavel on the mandate of the general population. Now, here you are saying the leadership is now performing well, but you have bulk of you who are in the house who's supposed to ensure that you pressurize the leadership, or if not, if the leadership still is not working, you mobilize the sort of signatures to get the leadership out.
Yeah, but mobilization is not an event. It's not that we are now going to the days of the Titanic plate where Charles Darwin theory and something just happened
But you've been having
or
problem with
something
the
or
leadership since. It's not the first time. The members now, I'm not just making reference to you.
But look, to push the leadership to a level that numbers gain. The advocates have been there. The numbers are growing. I can tell you that. Okay, and the leadership will have to change now. When I mean change, I not change or be changed. It's no argument. Look, I'm not going to waste my time for my people on friendship.
Two days
I'm
ago,
not going to look at kinsmanship on anything.
2 days
That
ago,
when people issue, the pressure is on the president because of our failure. That's a reality.
2 days ago,
And I just hope the president will understand this thing, that it's none of his business. We want to help him out. Whoever around him want to intrude into the legislature, you're doing your own works. But we need to correct the wrong.
and the wrong is to
That guilt by association is eating us up.
Now,
And we can't
Before my colleague asks you, I want to take you to Article 38 of our Constitution. It gives you the power to, let me just read it out. Each house shall adopt its own rules of procedure in full order, and with the concurrence of 2/3 of the entire membership, may expel a member of each for a cause. So meaning the Constitution gave you the authority to craft your own rule.
Good.
And in legislative politics, the plenary happens to be the highest decision-making body. You are a member of the plenary. There are other colleagues who are also members of this plenary. who sit within the wall of the House of Representatives or the chambers of the House of Representatives. So, meaning you have the authority to craft laws. What effort have you made to ensure that the Speaker, who happens to be the first among equals, can be able to actually go by the rules in your own words and do the right thing in your own words?
Good. So it's a two-way street. One, you said what you just read at the hotel. They didn't say each member. They say each house.
Each house, yeah.
But to tear.
You have the number.
So no. I don't have the number. I have my number. I'm working. I just said individually lawmakers are making effort, but by association we are failing. So that's a guilt by association I'm talking about. So to raise the number to get the signal, that's what we're doing. Part of what I'm doing here is part of the advocacy. For example, if I'm talking and you hear the real issue, if you're from Nima County and your lawmaker from District 4 is not working along with us, you will put under pressure. It's part of it. If we cannot get it in there, we come outside and say it. If you see some lawmaker talking on the air, because sometimes the letter on the floor not going. But gradually, I'm just telling you, it's not an event. Gradually, we get in there.
Two days ago, Representative, we heard reportedly that some members of the lower house, the House of Representatives, held a meeting aimed at starting the effort to remove the speaker. Are you quite aware of that?
But I'm not a secret person. From day one, I just don't have confidence in the speaker's leadership.
But why do you want to remove the speaker?
I have no confidence in leadership. He failed.
How?
He failed. He should have branded it. You listened to the speaker comment when we elected him, because he went on indicative ballot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When we elected him, he said he will rebrand the legislature. I said be rebranded. That the media should know.
So what rebranding you think?
Because in his mind, when he was in advocacy, that the rules of the House were not being fully followed, the level of independence that's required by the legislature, it was not there. So he needed to rebrand it and give her that level of respectability that we deserve. Okay? So it's not happening. If the pressure is on the executive, it's because the oversight is not there. Look, is that everything the president we have to be checking the budget and everything, performance of land management agency? That function was given to the legislature by the Constitution. Article 34. Revenue issues. If the country has economic issue, it's squarely the responsibility of the legislature. So if we have a leadership and we got issue, you want to brand the leadership the legislature good up to now 2 years? I'm saying, look, Buffalo is a nice guy.
Apparently,
he's a nice guy. The speaker individually is a nice person.
The speaker is unable to do so because of the in-house fighting.
Yeah.
Because of the in-house fighting amongst you people.
How many national issues have we fought on? It's an in-house fighting. Let me be realistic here.
The in-house fighting to remove him.
Remove him. How many times we put on the floor? What in-house fighting has to do with him doing a job? There will be a fight every day.
Distracting him is a distraction.
The fact that he struggled to become speaker means that there will always be a fight. They're not excuses.
He struggled?
Yeah, he struggled. To even get indicated, he struggled.
Dopoh, I would like to ask you this question. How often do you go for session?
Every day, the session should be.
Because one of the concerns here remain that most of you guys don't go for session. And
they can be me. Because when you check letters being written to the speaker, even though if you compare the letter that I have written to the speaker, the one that have been placed on the floor, it's far less than what I have written. But I can tell you, I'm always in session, except where, like in the case of my bereavement, that was not there, and I came, I think, 1 or twice. That's all. But when it comes to that, I'm always there. It's not an issue about being in session. It's issue about doing the right thing. There can be 2 persons in session. Make sure that we debate the issue. Have you followed? You journalists. You in the state media cover the legislature. Have you seen a debate? Real entertaining debate? Let me be realistic here. Or is the speaker a friend? Is there somebody in the executive that pushing him? No, we say no. We can't do that. We can't do that. We cannot suffer guilt by association. Individually, lawmakers are performing. But by association, we should exercise our power. The strength of the legislature in the number. It is. So I agree with you that it is there. That's what we are working towards there, to get the number.
So in other words, you are saying that the executive is suffering the pressure because the legislature are not able to perform its duty.
Obviously, I can stand in court and defend the executive on that. The president mean it. It's feeding the pinch because we are not performing by the association.
You're listening to the Bump Show rated on the OBC 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. Our studio guest is Representative Francis Sulit Dopoh II. He's the representative of District 3 in Rivergee County. He's our guest right here on this program. I know in 10 minutes or 15 minutes we'll be opening the lines so that you can interact with him. We have the lawmaker up to 5 o'clock. Let's look at the general issue now. I understand. I don't know whether I stand to be corrected. You are a pharmacy. Basically, you have your knowledge in a pharmacy. Looking at the economy of our country, Reb, what's your own honest analysis, your own opinion of initially you've said that the budget performance is not encouraging at all. What's some analysis of what you think that it's responsible for that?
Lack of accountability, fiscal indiscipline. I can say are the one responsible for that economy.
How do you elaborate on that? Lack of accountability.
Okay, so when we took over, we all know that the economy before Madam Sally were on life support, and she was managing it, even though on life support. And I can tell you what is life support in this case. I mean in medical case. In a case that you have top 10 in this country, followed by UNDP, where the technocrats were being sponsored and paid, not only by the government alone. You have the Farad program that was going on, we're paying nurses and other people. You have what you may call it, we have the SCS, the Special Executive Services, that were paying professionals. Government was very attractive. Okay, people left the private sector and brought the expertise to the government. But it was not the government alone that was paying. There were institutions that were helping with the big budget, because it's like the off-budget support were being used to help. When the government came up, it was to the understanding that Liberia had reached a point where it has a smooth transition and could take care of itself. Pro budget of 11.5 million. I can tell you today that budget was not fully achieved. When we cast the budget in the 17-18 budget, it was not fully achieved. We came to 18-19. 18-19, there were requests made, a lot of things that were done. Okay? And those things, most of them were not achieved. Now, what was happening? They were off budget spending. You cannot credit up to $33 to $35 million outside the budget without legislative approval. It's like people are running show around here. Unfortunately for us at the legislature, our leadership, every time we raise the issue, follow me, in 2018 December and 2019 January, I was raising the issue about budget performance. Because we need to look at the performance. Look, if you have your pro agenda, our function at the legislature is not to create an agenda for the government. Our function is to look at the president's agenda. What the president present his legislative agenda, let's say he present it to us the way he wants to proceed. So when the budget comes to us, we should look at his speech, his programs, and align it with all ministry and agency. And then after we have done the appropriation, we need to come back to make sure that they perform in line. But instead of spending this money on Rivergee County Health Center, you spend money outside of the budget. That's for fiscal indiscipline. Accountability. You could not come to on the quarterly basis to tell what's going on. So we can sit on the table and know exactly how do we solve it. Do you know when we start working with the government, with the executive? It was because of the IMF program. Who were those championing this IMF program on the harmonization and standardization? I was one of those. In fact, I'm the lead sponsor of the Standardization Act that was signed into law on October 4th by the president. I'm the lead sponsor. Because I didn't do it as the opposition. I did it because I feel that it's the government. We need to put it in order. It was just the first time we really worked together. I think the minister found out on the show and said that he worked with the legislature. That was the first time. So that fiscal indiscipline, that's lack of accountability. We need to know we are the people. Look, there are confidentiality, for example, money issue, money printing issue, they got confidential elements of them. But not everything in there is confidential. When we have discussed the confidential matter, the one that require public consumption need to go to the public. You see, so a lot of things were not going on, but they respected all. And I think it's on the basis of the leadership.
But apart from the disrespect you made reference to, that you are alluding to, you clearly admitted to the issue of external aid that the former government received, and as a result, the government was very effective and up to date in its budget performance. Unlike this administration,
Oh no, 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 no.
I know you agree with me
No,
that
no, no,
that
no,
is not
no, no,
happening
no,
for
no.
this.
It didn't come unknown to this administration. It didn't come unknown to him. There were documents on the books that at this point in time, the Farad project will be terminated. At this point in time, you took over from the regime. They were waiting. So you needed to work with the legislature and an effective legislature to sit and make sure that the government is playing. I can tell you that financial matter in this country, as far as I am concerned, in the legislature, I'm among the crime to the crime for financial matter in this country. It's no joke about that. So I can't be there and you be going behind the scene and be hiding yourself. You think you're an economist. I am an economist. Okay? So we cannot be discussing issues and you hide it from us. At the end of the day, we represent our people. So look, nobody should blame to anybody. Before you took the law, you were fully aware. Black people don't have confidence in the party government and give it to you. They have told you all their issues. So you would have known what you were taking off. You were taking off a government, taking on a government that was on life support, and the plug was turned off, and you need some oxygen on that. Other than that, you find another way out. You would have had a small government. You would have had a small government if you wanted to do that. So it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is that even beyond the point of the life support, the little you have, you spend outside, you are not disciplined spending it.
How?
The simple answer is, why did you go to IMF program? Why? And you were already spending.
You answer the question.
Because you blotted your payroll, you spend outside. I'm telling you now, you have a deficit of up to 55 million. You took an advance from the central bank of 25 million. Central bank report page 5, 2018 report. On the monthly SSI, it was an advance. We also contravened the central bank act.
So let me ask you.
And you also took $6 million from NASCO. I challenge anybody in here executive to tell me that I'm lying.
Contravening a law.
From the pension fund.
Contravening a law and trying to secure resources to better the lives or improve the lives of the people, to get the government working. Which one you would have preferred?
What secure the resources is accountability in the law. Nobody, you cannot have an agreement in a social club. You can't follow it. That's why you credit you money. So because you cannot go in line with your laws, people are afraid that today, if the man can go somewhere and just check money on the screen, if I expose my money, he will take it from me. So it's not an issue. No, don't joke with the laws. Sometimes the laws may not be tied to financial laws, but they have implication. Expropriation. If you can see people land, who are trusted with money, you can seize money. What is more liquid? Land and money. Not money. So don't joke with that. You have to follow it. You have laws, you got regulations, you got policies, you got programs and projects. They got to go in line. When you go outside of them, no accountability, you can't get trust. So it's not a joke. We got to go back. That's why we're in the IMF program. I'm happy that we're there. I'm happy. I was there. Minister Twerk can bear with it. We were in Farmington Hotel all along. We came in the dying meeting before the IMF making our case for the government. We didn't make political case. We didn't make military party case. We made Republic of Liberia case.
And thank God that at least you were part of the team to make the case for the Republic of Liberia. Thank you very much. At least I appreciate that. You're listening to the Dopoh Show. Very, very shortly we'll be opening the lines for you so that you can make your input on some of the things that we've been talking about right here on the Dopoh Show. But right before we open the lines, there's this issue of public expectations, which I know you are quite aware of. The government came in, the legislature, the government, just not the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, the executive, all of you came in. At the time, our people are really yearning and expecting to have their lives improve. Now, with the high expectation, with the high public expectations, how do you think, Rev, that all of us in government can manage the expectations of the people. How do you think we can meet the expectations of the people so the people will not see us as as failures, and they will not have that sort of disappointment in us as a government.
Well, we can manage our people expectation if we stop making promises that we can keep. That's one. That's the beginning of it too, because the expectation comes on the basis of promises, and also on the basis of impression that we give our people. When we see people say, "Oh no, look, let's be realistic here. This is a poor country. When we are making our policies, it should be consistent. Look, let me just look at this. Maybe sometime even look, the budget are submitted to the legislature. If you look at the fiscal alternate, I'm not talking about the budget framework paper. It suggests that before this government leave power, Liberian will be very poor. Check the numbers. They are there. That GDP growth will be around negative 1.6 in 2023. What are you showing to the people? You also said that you will have robust action in
With our
agriculture.
involvement with the IMF, it'll be the same.
No, for what you show.
Okay.
What you show. The numbers you show, that what numbers speaking.
Okay.
Numbers speak louder. Now, you also talk about robust action in agriculture. By this time, we don't have an agriculture minister. I don't know what it be upon because I was not here anyway. So, I was not here in my state of mind. I was not here. Okay. So, but you need to. It's a serious issue. You can't be relying on donors' money for agriculture. EU, according to my own estimate from what I gather, more than 200 million was spent over time, not in this government now. I mean, over time in agriculture. What can you see a consistent agriculture facility in this country? You think we talk about technical assistance? As a government, you need to appropriate your own funding for agriculture. Not 1.5 million. Some of the expectation of our people is on the basis. Look. Anybody who stage a demonstration in this country will get a number. You know why?
Right.
Because people are angry. People are hungry. People are not doing anything. It doesn't mean that they love the person they follow beyond, but because the situation on the other day. So we need to focus. We got a lot of people who don't have that level of expertise in sophistication and things. They gotta be in the real sector. It's not just about taking our iron ore carrying it out there. That's just all. So the people expectation to manage it, you also have to make them look. People talk about reconciliation. That's a fiasco. You don't reconcile in poverty. So when you have economic activity going on, this expectation will come down. Because even if from the beginning,
but then how do we have the economic activity ongoing when every time there's a group of people in the streets and chanting and using all sort of invectives because they feel they are aggrieved, they are angry? Are we not sending to the outside water? Are we not scaring the investors of and at the end of the day we are suffering?
No, if that was the case, then you will not be trying to go to heaven because instability started from heaven. If that's the argument. If the argument is because people are aggrieved and they chanting this, chanting that, so development not go on, then you don't talk about heaven.
No, but
because Satan instability started from heaven.
So what? That's the point.
Yeah, it scares investors away, but it brings to the government attention that indeed there is a problem. It must be addressed. Forget about those who making the noise, who are because they are angry. I just told you because they are angry. What you need to do is to focus on your agenda, and the agenda should be practical.
The government is focused on the agenda.
Well, focus to the extent that results should come out.
The results are coming out.
Or they are coming out, it should come out fully. Until then, you will always have but you can't be knocking your chair that you're doing good when people are crying. You have to talk to the people. And beyond that point, those that are in government should be very apologetic. They should understand that when you sit on the chair, okay, you got people there who want to get there to you. So you have to find a way to calm down situation. You cannot be throwing, wrath for wrath. You got to be careful. You are the one in the seat now. Okay, I believe by this time the president, nobody who ever tell him say he's the president, he's the seventh. In fact, he's the seventh president. Okay, so he must go and reach out to people and talk to them. Nobody will tell you the president don't do it. You stood down so low if you do so. No. He's the president. Even if a baby cry in the street and want his attention, if he have the time and opportunity, let him do that. Nobody to tell you anything. This is his country. Okay? Nobody, at the end of the day, those who making that big show around him there, when anything goes wrong, they will say, we told him, he didn't listen to us. And that's the reality. And I'm not coming from the southeast to see my president from the southeast in that manner.
We all got legacy, we got future, and from Clariton too. So I will tell you truth to power. That indeed you need to do all you can. The noise will be there, it will always be there. Reach out. If you reach out 70 times 7, reach out until we can solve the problem.
0776089713. That's the number to call, or 0880514096. Again, 0776089713 or 0880514096. That's the number to call, and you are live
Hello?
right there on the bumper shoulder.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead quickly.
Okay, what's the take?
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take this other call on the
Hello, your
line.
name and where are you calling from? Good evening, your name and where are you
Go on.
calling from?
Good evening.
Oh, sorry. We lost it.
Yeah, I read that one.
Hello? Okay, we lost that
Hello?
caller. 0776089713 or better still 0880514096. 0776089713 or better still 0880514096.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead quickly.
Good evening.
Okay, you answer your question. I'm sure he got that question. He's taking notes. You answer your question before the program ends. Let's take this other call on the line. Hello, caller? Yes, sir. Go right ahead quickly. Many thanks. Let's take this other call on the line. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, your name and where are you calling from? Okay, let's hear from you. Okay, thank you very much. Hello. Yes, go right ahead. I saw you made a point already. Okay, thank you very much. Let's just call on the line. Hello, caller. Yes, your name and where you calling from quickly. Mm. Okay, let me take this final caller quickly. Yes, hello. Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from? Okay, let's hear from you. Yes, let's hear from you. Okay. I think you made a point already. Right? You can want to just respond so that we can take leave of you.
Yeah, so a good number of the callers talk about protests. I think they insinuating that I support protests. Yes, I support protests. But which one? The one that went on the other day? No, I was clear. I know the economic implications of protest. I'm saying to you that you don't have to be focused much on the issue of the protest. I say reach out as a president. You can evolve. You can honor cut the protest. Okay? And let me be very clear here. Nowhere in the world there's no scientific neither political science document that tell you that for a lawmaker to get involved in the protest is wrong. It's not true. It's unfortunate. And Liberia is not the only country where lawmakers go into protest. That's wrong. That's lie. It's not true. Even in the Africa recently, there were lawmakers involved. Okay, so they have the right, they have the constituent, they can stand. Put them in, that doesn't mean that a government should come down. A protest could be that you want to make a point to the government. So I'm not making, for me, mass protest in the street, especially a small country that is where, we just centralized in Morovia, if we had a decentralized government, I would have said, yeah, you can put it anywhere. So I never got involved in the protest, and I never supported it because of why. I'm not saying that those who were doing it, they are crazy people, so no, but I didn't support that. So I don't want people to insinuate that my argument is that people will always protest. That's not something that we could be using as an excuse in this country. Okay, the very CDC protest here several times. Okay, even lawmakers or Akaras we all protest here.
So when it became wrong, so it's not because it's Jeke Koloba or it's Dara Dillon, no. Okay, I didn't support the protest, but the fact remains that they were not wrong to protest. You can honor court by negotiating and discussing with them. Okay. The other issue here I want to speak about is that it's not that Speaker Chimo is overly powerful that he cannot be removed. The issue was not about removing Speaker Chimo. The issue of working with him to make sure that indeed the right thing is done. If we reach a point where he's not changing, we still think he got room to change, but he cannot change, he got to be changed. I'm not arguing with that. Even the fact that I didn't support the reason I said he struggled, because you only saw the election going on because he went unopposed. There were between election, the day we were elected to the time of the election, there was a struggle. So I understand that. I understand that you all have different intention of struggle in different way, but in my mind, he struggled. Whether he got indicated battle, but before that point, there was a conversation, there was a lot of discussion, a lot of commitment that were made, and we are not seeing those things happen. That's one of the things. So he needs to double up. This government, look, let me leave one statement with you.
Yeah, parting comment.
If you want to prove me on performance, I'm not comparing the government with no other government. I'm comparing the government with itself, with its own policy, its own procedure and projects. If ELBC has 50 million in the budget and you got only 10 million, the government will not perform because ELBC will not do a job by a project. So we should make sure that whatever we do, whatever we appropriate, we make sure it's happy and happy to the aspiration of the people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to compare any government with no government. This government is the government that been voted, and it must perform.
Okay, thank you very much, Rep, for your time. We really appreciate your present.